I'm Dana Ball. I am a small business attorney here in the state of Utah, and we are just coming to you live with some practical legal tips to help you stay out of a legal mess. We don't like to be in court, and we want to help small business owners know what they need to do to protect their business. So are you ready for the new year? Is your business ready to start a new year? We are looming to the end of the year. December 31st, it is right around the corner. So if you are ready, wow, congratulations. I am so excited for you. But there are probably some things you haven't thought about. And when we get to this point of the year, I love it because I'm a planner. I love to review the prior year. I love to plan out what I want to do with the business for the next year. But you may not be like me. You may be flying by the seat of your pants. You may be that business owner that is putting out fires as they happen. And most of you are, because you're busy and you wear a ton of hats. So I'm going to give you a few things that I want you to be thinking about before December 31st. All of a sudden you wake up and it's here and you don't want to be scrambling, because there are certain things, if you haven't done them by December 31st, you can't go back and do it. So let's get going. So number one, do you have, I'm nervous to ask this question because I don't like to hear the answer sometimes, but I hope you have an accountant in your realm, in your support group of advisors for your small business. If you do not have one yet, please reach out to us. Please, we've got great accountants that we can refer off to you. But the big point is you need one. It is a cost of doing business, just like having a small business attorney in your corner, like we talked about before. It is a cost of doing business. You literally cannot reap the benefits of running a business, financial or tax-wise, without that accountant. And I work with accountants all the time because we've got business owners who set up new entities, who sell their interests in their entities, or they sell their whole business, whatever it is. That accountant, he or she is the one that sees the big financial picture. And so the attorney and the accountant work together to make those transactions happen the right way. So please get an accountant. But at the end of the year, it is time to be proactive and ask your accountant some questions. You want to consult with them and look at the financials. Maybe there was some equipment that you purchased this year. There's just things that maybe have happened throughout the year and they need to be accounted for correctly. So now is the time to have that conversation, not after the fact, because the accountant can't do anything about it unless you've done it before December 31st and you've figured out what the plan is and what you need to do because of those switches in financial numbers, whatever it is, up or down, whatever it is, now's the time. But please, please, please do not assume that come tax time that your accountant is going to automatically suggest to you ways to minimize your tax burden. Do not make that assumption, because that is not right. You, at the end of the day, the business owner, you have to be proactive. You have to be asking your accountant questions. It is not up to them to give you the best, to do your taxes in such a way to minimize everything. You have to be taking certain steps to make that happen. But if you don't know what the steps are, that's when you need to talk to your accountant and decide what's going to work best for you. All right. Now, if you are a corporation, you are actually obligated to have an annual meeting and take minutes of those meetings. So now's the time. If you haven't done it, now's the time to do it and make sure you have meeting minutes. If you have an LLC, I still operate this way. I advise my clients to operate this way. It is a good idea to get together with your business partners and put together just document any big events that have occurred with your business. Have you made any big purchases? Have you changed anything? Have you changed banks? Have you taken out a new loan? It's a good idea to document those big decisions in a form and keep it with your entity records. So now's the time to review and kind of look and see what's happened and what needs to be documented. If you have questions, consult with your business attorney to see what you need to be documenting there. All right, look, this is number 3. Look at your distributions. Are they on track? Do you have any distributions that you haven't accounted for? So now's the time to look at those and consult with your tax advisor and make sure you've evaluated, you've seen the big picture, and all of that is accounted for and it's correctly done in your books. All right, what about charitable donations? If you don't do those by the end of the year, you can't go back. They're not retroactive. You have to actually make those donations before December 31st if you want to reap the benefit tax-wise for this year. If you don't care, then go ahead and do it whenever. But for this year, it has to be done by December 31st. All right. Your annual reports. You need to look and see, again, this would be something to consult with your business attorney. Is your company obligated to produce annual reports? And if you are, have you done them? Sometimes members of a LLC, they require it to have these annual reports done so that the owners of the company all have a good idea of what the financial picture is and they're all on the same page. So you need to look and see if you are required to be producing annual reports. All right, then number 6, if you are an LLC and you've got multiple owners, then it's time to look at your operating agreement. If you're a corporation, it's time to look at your bylaws and your shareholders agreement to determine, have there been any changes that we need to make amendments to these agreements? Are there any decisions that you've discussed going forward that you want to tweak? Then amendments need to be drafted and signed. So now's the time to consult with your business attorney to see what's out there and what needs to be drafted up and signed by all owners of the company before the end of the year so you can plan. Also, you want to consult with your tax advisor, your accountant, to see maybe your revenues are at such a place that now you can opt to be taxed differently to reap more benefits as a business owner. So then those those updates need to be filed with the IRS too. All right, do you have any permits, any licenses, any outstanding registrations, like for your entity, that are pending that have not been completed or paid for? These are so important to keep your entity strong so it protects your personal assets. It's one thing that keeps it viable, and you want to make sure that you have renewed. Anything that's lapsed, you get it caught up. You've renewed it. So when you're looking at your documents, your operating agreements, your shareholder agreements, also look at your handbooks. This is a great time of year to even have some of your key employees review your employee handbook and policies and procedures and give you some feedback. Do we need to tweak any of the terms in there? Are we really operating this way, or have we changed the way we're handling this type of situation? If we've changed, then you need to have your business attorney update that manual so that it's ready for January 1st and you can get started off on the right foot. Okay, last but not least, hang in there with me. Do you look at your past year? Is there anything that you have created intellectual property wise that you haven't taken the necessary steps to protect it? So maybe you started a new arm of your company, you've got a new logo. Have you filed the paperwork to trademark that? Do you have any contracts in place that will protect trade secrets? Is it necessary? Is there anything that hasn't been taken care of to protect your intellectual property? And again, if you need a referral, we have great referral sources. Great patent and trademark attorney firm in Utah that really works well with small business owners. So feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to share a referral list with you. All right, hopefully I have ruffled some feathers, because that is my goal. As a business owner, I want you to face reality. I want you to be thinking and planning and preparing for next year, so you can start off this next year on the right foot. Let's get your business protected. Let's get things done right. It is never too late to get your business off on the right foot. Whether you've been in business for 20 years, whether you're just starting out and now you want to do things right, it is never too late to just make that decision and make sure all of your contracts that you have are done appropriately, or if you need contracts, it's now time to plan. What do I need to do as a business owner to figure out how to best protect my business? What are my business needs? So take that with you, think about it, and it's exciting. So I love this time of year. I'm a planner, so I love thinking about all these things, and we love to serve you. We love what we do. We love helping small business owners get unstuck so you can move on in your business and run your business and have some peace of mind that you are doing things right because you've consulted with the right resources to help you set things up the right way. So have a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining our live broadcast today. This is number 12. So thanks again, everybody.